Hey, everybody, this is Greg Ryder, CEO and founder of AngelNetwork.com, and welcome to another interview we have. Angel Network's all about giving the entrepreneur and the small business owner the tools, the resources, the knowledge, the wisdom to get their company funded, to create more jobs, and to help build this great America that we have. Today I have Eric Fillion with Andice Funding, and we're going to talk about a really unique way and a really unique tool to get funding for certain companies, and we hope this fits for you. So, Eric, I appreciate you taking some time today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Okay, so let me just start off by saying, tell us a little bit about how you got involved with Andice and where you're based out of, and then let's dive right into how you guys provide funding and what that looks like.
Well, Andice has been around for a long time, since 1982, as a private investment firm. And it's grown to the Andice group of companies. It's swallowed a few companies and different divisions over the years, from fixed asset to commodities, you name it. And this last year, we started up a new company called Andice Integrated Funding. And the model is that integrated funding, a hybrid of short-term transactional funding solutions for small to medium enterprise. Me personally, it's based out of San Diego.
And you were saying you were from Montreal?
Born and raised.
Nice. And now he said, when I talked to him this morning, he's like, I'm loving the sunshine. People say, how's the weather in San Diego? It's like, oh, yeah, you'll never have to ask that because it's always good.
When I'm done here, I'm off surfing.
Oh, very cool. All right, so tell us about how Andice works and what that looks like and what the perfect customer is for you.
Well, a perfect customer for us is someone that doesn't fit into the traditional mold. Maybe a past credit history makes it impossible for them to get any sort of traditional financing. Maybe they're growing too fast for their orders and they can't complete them without any sort of short-term transactional financing. It could be in the manufacturing sector. It can be in the retail sector. It's really for even companies who have seasonal sales spikes and don't have the working capital to place to complete those orders. And there's a chance that they'll lose the opportunity to place that order or to get that order. This is where we come in, specific transactional short-term financing. And it's a hybrid of everything from conventional factoring, purchase order financing, supplier guarantees, equipment lease partnerships, you name it, revenue participation lending, based on paying back on a percentage of your revenues rather than a fixed interest payment. What basically happens is when our clients come to us, they go online, they request a funding evaluation. We have a short phone call with them. We talk to our funding committee, and we come back with a potential solution, which will be a hybrid of different funding solutions to keep their costs down and meet their needs as fast as possible. And it could be posting a supplier guarantee for a manufacturer. It could be covering their overhead for their equipment, for their supplies, for their inventory, you name it.
No, that's incredible. That's nice. So, and when we met, I remember you gave an example of that with was it the scooters or the little motorcycles?
Yes, we're actually just working on closing that out right now. Based out of New York, a gentleman called me and he had this great opportunity. The scooter sales were going through the roof in Brazil. He's Brazilian, but he's based out of New York. And he came to us with this idea. Now this is a little bit outside the box because this basically was a startup we typically don't do. We like to see about a year's worth of experience in the company, but this was such a great opportunity for him and for us. He had already lined up all the distributors, the buyers in Brazil, had purchase orders in hand for, I believe, $400,000 worth of scooters, but did not have the capital to place the order. The manufacturer in China required either a supplier guarantee in the form of a letter of credit or BG, and just couldn't do that. So we stepped in. We basically are guaranteeing the manufacturer that they're going to get paid. Once they deliver the scooters to the port and they're inspected, we release the funds and the manufacturer in China is fully paid. They get shipped to Brazil and then delivered to the distributors, and then once they pay back pay their invoices, we then keep our share and then give the rest to the principal in New York.
See, that's why I love that you guys.
He's not out of pocket at all.
No, it's a beautiful situation for that entrepreneur because, it's like you said, it's not typical, and they were a startup, and you like to work with companies over a year old, but it was a great deal. And then you brought some expertise to the table with international financing that this guy probably didn't have, and now he's pocketing some money that he wasn't going to be able to get, all because you were there providing this, and it's just a win-win-win around the table.
Right, and it's not costing him an arm and a leg. His gross margins are over 45%. And after everything is said and done, covering the gamut from the supplier guarantee to our costs being covered, I believe overall is going to cost him about 5 or 6% of his gross income over 60 or 65 days.
Very cool. Very cool. No, that's awesome. So is there any cap on how much money you guys can do?
Well, we've unofficially set our cap at $50 million per purchase order. We do everything on a per-case basis. And what's really important is that we really look at the two ends of the transaction, not just the middle. And what I mean by that is it's not just the person coming to us, the company coming to us that we're concerned about. We're concerned about who is handing out this purchase order and who is the manufacturer, and can both ends meet their commitments. So it's not just the company could have poor credit history, but as long as the two ends, we're comfortable with that and we vet it properly, then it's still possible to do a transaction with us.
Okay. And is there any number that's too small where it's just not worth your time to even go through the due diligence and go through the energy and effort?
Well, we do have a threshold, and that's about $250,000 where it starts becoming worthwhile for us to get involved. We're not a bank, so we spend a lot of time and hours and legal work and contracts and due diligence. It costs us a lot of money and a lot of time. So and even a lot of our transactions that we do have a small upfront due diligence fee of $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to help us meet those costs. We have the ability to move quite fast. We're not restricted by not being a bank. If there's a time sensitive project, we can be to funding in 3 to 4 weeks if it's necessary.
Very cool. All right, well, tell everybody how to find your website and find that form and how to contact you guys, and we'll wrap it up. And I sure appreciate your time sharing this unique opportunity for the people that it fits for. It's not for everybody, but for those people that need it, you're there.
Absolutely.
So what's your give the website, and it's andicefunding.com.
andicefunding.com. There's even a form on there where you can request a funding evaluation, where we will do a phone interview with you, go to funding committee, come back to you with a plan, and if you approve of the plan, then we move on to do a due diligence and funding for that point.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate it, Eric, and I'll put a link right underneath this video, everybody, so you can just click directly on that link, get over there, check it out, tell them that Greg Ryder and Angel Network sent you. So this has been Greg Ryder, another interview segment from AngelNetwork.com, where we're dedicated to helping entrepreneurs and small businesses get the capital they need to create jobs, create America, and get that America dream going. So do what I do, wake up every day with an attitude of gratitude and tell somebody you love them. Thanks a lot, Eric.
Thanks for your time.